Hello, my name is Chris. I'm an American who moved to Shenzhen, China about 5-6 months ago, and in today's video we're talking about a bunch of things I've learned since I've moved here and what it's kind of like as an American living in China. If you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe if you want to see more content like this one. I worked for a really large tech company and I've actually learned so much about the industry, especially over here in the East. Am I what you expected when you heard an American was going to join the company?
You mean when I heard that first things you were coming to the company? And I don't know who you are. I feel a little nervous because you have to come to Shenzhen and you are American and no one know you and I have to take care of you. To be honest, at first I think you will be very tall, like more higher than Chris Evans, but
You thought? Oh my gosh, she thought I was gonna be taller than Chris Evans.
at first I thought you are very old. You are not this young,
How old did you think I was?
like 30.
30?
Below 30, but most I don't know. I've never seen you, so I don't know.
So you didn't hear and you thought I was gonna be 30? God. So one of the first things we're going to talk about is being stared at, because although it's kind of hard to show because when it's happening I'm not filming and sometimes it happens because I'm filming, but you do get looked at a lot here, but not really in a mean way. I feel like they're just looking because they are genuinely curious. So to see someone here of color to them is new. I actually do get quite a good amount of stares in the building I work at as well, because it's a high-rise building with a bunch of large companies and most foreigners that are here are actually English teachers. Now the time I definitely get looked at the most is when I'm with my girlfriend, especially because she looks very different than most girls here as well. We both just stick out a lot, and we're also usually holding hands or something. I also don't see that very often with young couples here. The weather is so bipolar here. When I went into work around 9, it was super sunny. Now that I'm heading out at around 11:30 or so, it's sunny again, but there was a flash flood, like an absolute storm. Wow, like an absolute storm just passed through. That's what happens when you live in the tropics. It expands to the whole conversation of languages. When I'm speaking to people here, most people here do not speak English. I think that's just the city of Shenzhen. It is not as popular internationally as Shanghai or Beijing. So most people just do not speak English, but they try really hard to communicate with you. They really go the extra mile, whether it's the delivery guy, trying to translate things in front of you, restaurants, whatever it is, they will pull out whatever translating app they're using to figure out what you're saying and have you communicate back and forth, even for the smallest things, and they're very patient with it, which is something that you really appreciate a lot. As someone who's lived in countries where people don't speak the language at first, like France, here they're extremely patient, so if you're worried about that, you don't need to.
Not nice when you walked in. Did you just smell Doritos?
I just smelled Doritos. You joke about not doing math well, but the way you tell time is through a mathematical equation. 2 past or 17 past. It could just say 12:02 or 12:17. It is finally Sasha's time to see the best TV show ever made of all time. If you disagree, you should leave this video, unsubscribe, dislike the video, and I don't want to see from you or hear from you ever again. And that show is Vince Gilligan's Breaking Bad.
Wow, that is a big bite. The next step's gotta be oxygen.
Of course, and now that I'm heading back to work, it is raining super hard. Like super hard. One thing that I have enjoyed is, as I'm getting older and learning more about adulthood, I've started investing, which is something that I've always wanted to do but never knew that much about. Oh, that wind is strong. I started to invest in some relatively low-risk ETFs and index funds following general markets, and it feels good. There's been actually quite a bit of growth already because of recent events, and it's awesome because I have money that I'm just putting to save, but I know that there are better ways than just saving it. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting older. I was just in a meeting where we were talking about tattoo ideas. I'm pretty sure they invited me just because I'm one of the few people in my company who has tattoos. Why don't Chinese people get tattoos?
I don't like it. Why have to?
Because they don't like it. It's just us Americans are simple. Every Tuesday and Wednesday, Domino's has a half off, so Sasha and I, for sure, will be having Domino's tonight. For sure. So in terms of what I actually do, my role is kind of always evolving. I'm analyzing trends, creating AI prompts, and helping with interpretation. I also get approached by random people in the company, even in other departments, being asked, a Western perspective on things, translating things and interpreting things, just to be able to help them understand more how a Western mind thinks. I don't know if it's because this is generally just like a transition period. As an adult, becoming more adulty. I've got my beard, I'm wearing a polo style shirt, but I feel like what goes through my mind since I've been living here in China is so different than before. I'm really planning ahead, financially, relationship-wise, my girlfriend, where I want to live in the world, and all that stuff. As I get experience to more cultures, you just think more about life, like in a different way. And since I've moved here to China, that's definitely been something that has crossed my mind and I think about daily. I'm 24, gonna be 25. Fuck, I'm basically gonna be an old man in like a month. I know I'm still figuring things out. It's just, I don't know, it's just so much to take in. And every time you move, you kind of feel like you're resetting your clock in terms of knowledge, because you get used to a place and then you have your routines there and you kind of get complacent in your decision making and career path and everything that goes through your head. And then every time you make a major change, you kind of mature like much faster. I remember when I moved from the US to Paris, that was a huge change when I was around 16, 17. And then from there to Italy, another huge change. Your perception of people, your perception of relationships, your perception of money, time, what's important, what's not important, all gets scrambled up and you find yourself thinking, all right, what's next? I'm pretty sure this also comes with age, but anyways, I already know what's next. And for me, what's next is Domino's. And Domino's here is really fascinating because they always have new flavors almost every week, depending also on what's trending. Because behind me we have the Dubai chocolate, like the trendy Dubai chocolate on the actual pizza. And they do all sorts of pizzas with all sorts of different flavors and all. I thought that in the US you'd have the most variety in flavors. Nope, definitely over here.
Keep going. This shoe is.
谢谢。Thank you. 谢谢。Bye bye. Stand by.
I had one finger too many earlier.
This is the only way to get pizza. Pineapple.
Be further from the tree.
Hawaiian pizza. Ignore what she says. She's from the UK. She has no perception of what good food is.
Okay, so the only has pineapple pizza. You're supposed to be Italian.
For those of you who don't know, if you don't have pineapple on your pizza,
You're elite.
unsubscribe right now. Leave. Leave!
Only other thing left behind. We're sending it off to Quantico, see if they can pull something off it.
Oh, guys, this is another day, and we're eating McDonald's because, I don't know, I just want to feel American again for this video. When I was going down to pick up my food, in the elevator, there were 2 containers with what I believe to be koi fish that they're putting on the top floor. If I haven't shown you already, on the top floor of my apartment, there's this beautiful garden area that's just, breathtaking. So I think they're finally filling the pond with actual fish, which is beautiful. Cheeseburger. You know what I get from McDonald's? 3 cheeseburgers, that's it. Then I work out a lot because I want to use the carbs as fuel and the protein to get muscles. Look at that, guys. I think if you're thinking about moving somewhere new, someplace drastic, you should absolutely do that. And if you're not thinking about doing it, you should still do it. I think I've come to the realization that just doing everything, just saying yes to pretty much everything, will give you such an exciting life, because except for really stupid things, you're gonna regret saying no more often than saying yes. Again, unless you're doing something that's completely bad for you or you just know is just not gonna be helpful for you. But if there's something that's scary or risky, full send, full jump, and you're gonna regret saying no more often than saying yes. Again, unless you're doing something that's completely bad for you or you just know is just not gonna be helpful for you. But if there's something that's scary or risky, full send, full jump, Am I underexposed? A little bit. And from my experience, the worst thing that will really happen is you'll learn a new language. See you guys in the next video. Peace.